In this demonstration program, we try to show some file operations, and here open is the function call used to open the file in Python, and read lines is used to read the complete lines of the file and store it in a list format. And this is lines stores the complete list of the read files. And here we are iterating through each of the lines from the file that is stored in the list called as lines, and it prints the each lines. So let's run this program. So in this case we are opening the our first Python program that we discussed earlier. So now let's execute this. So this is the contents of the file. So it has each lines. So when we read lines from the file that is opened. So file is the object that we get after opening the file, and we have to call the read lines on this file object, and we get the list of lines. And here we are iterating through each line. So now line first, in the first instance, line points to the first line, that is nothing but this, maybe this first line, and then prints onto the screen. Next it points to the second line, so it keeps on until the end of the file. So this line reads all the lines of the file until it reaches the end of the file, and displays to the user one at a time. So for is used basically for iterating through each elements of a given sequence. Now let us see the concept of break. In this program, we are demonstrating the concept of break here. So in this program, let us say that we have given a list of numbers, and we have to display only the first five even numbers. So here we have a list of numbers, and now our task is to display only the first five even numbers. So what we can do is we can have a for loop and iterate through each of the elements in this list. And as shown in the previous program, let's check whether it is an even number. If the modulus is 0, then it prints the iterated value as a even number. And now initially the count is 1 here, and and when the count has exceeded 5 or equal to 5, we introduce a statement called as break. So as soon as the break is executed, it comes out of this complete for loop. Let's say that we have written a statement here. Let's introduce a print statement here. So as soon as the break statement is executed, it breaks this loop. That means it does not do the iteration for the further elements, and it comes out of the loop. Now let us run this program to explain this. So we can see here it has executed for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 number of times. So till 30 it has calculated the even numbers, even though we had other even numbers here, 34, 36, 38. So we have calculated only the first five even numbers, and as soon as the count has reached 5, there is a break statement executed. So as soon as the break statement is executed, it skips all the remaining part of the sequence, and it comes and executes the next line, which is nothing but this line out of for loop. So the body of for loop is this one. From here to here, this forms the body of the for loop. And as a note, we have used the colon here also for the for loop statement. So basically, whenever the loop has a break, or when the break is executed, the for loop or any loop which wherever it is using, it will exit from that loop and starts executing the next line of execution. Now let us see some examples of continue. So this program demonstrate how the continue statement works in Python. Now let us say that we are iterating through a range of 10 times. So here we are use one more statement called as a range. So range basically it display, for example, in this case we have an integer here. So range of this integer, it has a value from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So from 0 to 9 it has a value. So when we iterate for index in range of 10, that means this is like a list in which it has 0 to 9, and in the first iteration it will have a value 0. The index will value have a value 0, and in the second iteration the index will have a value 1, and this goes on until it reaches the last element, that is 9. So now the user is asked to enter the temperature of the body, and that is captured in the variable temp. And if the temperature is less than 100 degrees Celsius, then it prints normal body temperature. And there is a continue statement here. So when the continue statement is executed, it it jumps to the beginning of the loop, and it skips whatever the lines of code is present below the continue. So this is the body of the for loop, and these lines that are part of the body of the for loop is skipped whenever continue is executed. Let us run this, and let's explain the program along with. Let us put a print statement here. So this will form the body of the for loop. Now let us execute this for loop. Execute this program. So now enter the body of the temperature. The body temperature. Let's say we have entered 70. So normal temperature. Again, it's asking us to enter the body temperature. So what happens here is it checks for the temperature. If it is less than 100, then this print comes, and we execute the continue. So as soon as the continue statement is executed, it skips whatever is there below the continue statement, that is part of this for loop, and now it again goes to the beginning of the for loop. Now the value of index points to the next iterator, that is the iteration 1. So in the same way, now we enter 99, let's say. So in the same way again, 99 is less than 100, so it displays normal body temperature, and it skips whatever is present below the continue statement. And now let's say we have entered 100. So now the body temperature is more, please consult doctor, and then the appointment with doctor is booked. So now what happens is when we enter a value that is greater than or equal to 100, it does not satisfy this if loop, and now this continue is not executed. As a result, it comes directly to this print, and we can see that the body temperature is more, please consult doctor, and then a book appointment function is called. So in this book appointment function, in this case we have just printed the appointment with doctor is fixed, is booked. So this can have a proper coding use case as well. Now let's say again we enter the body temperature. So same way, whenever user enters the temperature greater than or equal to 100, then the body temperature is more, please consult a doctor, and appointment with the doctor is being executed. So these lines are executed. So um, whenever a temperature less than 100 is executed, then this continue comes into picture. The continue statement is executed, and whatever the remaining part of the code that forms the body of the for loop is being skipped. So here, after iterating through 10 times, the program has exited. So this range is nothing but it ranges from the value 0 to 9. So when we say range of 10, it ranges from a value from 0 to 9. Now let us see the same thing here. This is used to comment the multi-line commenting code. Now we have commented the body of the for loop. Now we have just printed the index. Let's run this. So here you can see that the index value is from 0 to 9, and next out of for loop has been printed. So a range of 10 means from each iteration it takes the first iteration takes 0, second iteration takes a value 1. In the same way the last iteration takes the value 9. So if we change this value, so it iterates through 0 through 4. So these are the different values the index holds here. So in this video session, we have discussed the while loop, the infinite loop, the for loop. We have discussed different types of for loops. Like we have discussed the for loop to display the lines within the file, to how to use a range in a for loop, and we have discussed the break statement and continuous statement as well. So in this video session, the overall concepts of loops and iterations have been discussed. Thank you.